Vanessa the Vivacious versus Riverside. So today, in today's installment, this is the one with the audio only episode. However, when I tried to upload my audio only file to Riverside, it did not work. Not sure why. I'm not sure if it was the fact that it wasn't a video file, but it did not upload just an audio file. So strike one, Riverside today, March 13th, but this actually happened on March 12th. Waited all night. Nothing happened, just kept on doing that little circle of death after I put it into Premiere and I exported it. I went ahead and took it back into Riverside, which we all do, and then it loaded just fine. So at this point I can go ahead and add my intro, add my outro, trim it up however I need to. Thankfully Riverside saves it within your media, so you can just go and retrieve it, which is wonderful. So let's go ahead and do that. Make our timeline a little bit bigger so I can see it, because Lord knows my eyes do not work quite that well. This cursor is in the right position. I can go ahead and just hit split and it'll split that right off. And then I can use those lovely little triple dots to just delete this, get it the heck up out of here. So let's do that. Bam. So it looks like we are good, but then I really don't like this added space right here. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing. I'm just going to move my playhead over to about yay spot, and then I'm going to go back over here, use that split tool, and then we're going to just click that and remove. That way we can have everything a little bit tighter, because if you don't have it tight enough, then it kind of feels a little wonky. So now we're at the point where we can add that transition, so that way it just does a beautiful dovetail into it. So we're just going to do that and make it nice and simple, and let's have a look. Perfect, 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 perfect. Now we're gonna jump on over to the end and do the exact same thing. So let's go ahead and do that. Now that we have the intro and the outro plugged in, they were already saved to our media in Riverside. And then we have the show uploaded, which again, I could not upload just the audio. My intent was to upload a still frame and put it inside the media files for Riverside, and then just, you know, plug and play, plug and play, plug in the intro, plug that still, bring in that audio file. That was the plan, but it didn't quite work today. And so quite all right, we always have a backup way to do everything, but Riverside just wanted to bring that to your attention that currently audio files are not uploading on their own, and I'm not sure why. I'm not sure if it was because it was the first file in a brand new project, but you would know better than I would. But I'm sure that it's already fixed. And so thank you guys for joining on this quick little Vanessa the Vivacious versus Riverside, and take a look at the episode that is soon to follow right now in 3, 2, 1, and we are live in 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Hey everyone, this is Vanessa the Vivacious. I am creating this special little mini-sode because I went to an amazing networking event today that was called Social Breakfast DFW. Apologies if I'm getting the name wrong. I'll put the description link in the description. That makes no sense. I'll put the link in the description so that way you can follow it and go to it. If you're in the DFW area, it's highly rewarding. Such amazing speakers and networking opportunities. But being at that event, I heard and also spoke to some people about the fact that we have so much to offer in terms of what we do, our expertise, and what we've done before that we could share with others. And so I just wanted to share today, just really simply, on the subject of intro and outro music and how music can have a real impact on your episodes in your podcast. So I wanted to show you just a few different samples of my previous shows and my current show, and then also something different in regards to bloopers and outtakes, which I think is totally fine to put in an episode. Depends on you and your style. And again, all of this is purely opinion based. So you can take it and run with it, or you can consult someone else with a PhD in podcast, which I don't think there is a PhD in podcast, but if there was, I bet you Full Sail University has one. So anyway, let's get started. Back in 2012, I started my podcast journey with Vanessa the Vivacious Show, and I have revived that show on Riverside because it is said that you can record and publish straight from Riverside, and so that is what I'm currently doing. Now, that being said, I would like you to hear what the current intro sounds like for Vanessa the Vivacious Show, and also I'd like to note that I did it myself. I recorded everything, mixed it myself, so enjoy this. And we are live in 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 2, 1. So first things first is that you have this really nice kind of punch right in the beginning saying, and we're live. And I really love that. I love the kind of broadcasty studio like authoritative person that's saying, hey, we're here and we're live in 3, 2, 1, counting down. I like the reverb. I did that myself. I like the music in the background. It's very punchy and it resonates with my personality. And then you have it transition into another song, which can then be reduced in volume, and then it'll segue into that introduction with welcome everyone to another episode of right? Only caveat to that is that if you don't have the sound samples for that secondary the song anymore, then you have to re-record it and figure out something else. But luckily, I have a ninja set of skills and I'm able to manipulate and do whatever I need to do in multiple platforms or one platform in order to mix accordingly. So I've been able to do that, which is excellent. But that's all I will say is that if you do have music, make sure that you A, know where it's at, B, have any licenses that you need, or C, just make sure that you use it appropriately and then you reduce in volume, right? You fade underneath that speaker, or if you're in Premiere, you can use keyframes, and then it'll get you set up for that perfect introduction of your intro voice, right? Welcoming people and just moving forward with the show. I really dig it when you have the music, right? And then if there's any kind of speaking, the speaking is always on top, always, because you always want people to hear you first. And then you use your keyframes or use a fade to go underneath the speaker, because that's broadcast quality type stuff, right? And we always want that. So we want it to be clean and neat. So anyway, that was the very first show that I had in 2012. And to be quite honest, that is the refined version that has existed for the last few years. It did not start out that way. If you go back to Vanessa the Vivacious show and you hear all the way back to the beginning, it does not sound like that. But then again, I've kept all those old episodes because of the fact that I really believe in having, your history and just going from where you started to where you are now and being able to see it and hear it. It's a big deal. It's embarrassing, but it's a big deal. So let's move on. Back in 2022, I was already working with Are You Happy docuseries and doing visual journalism, interviewing strangers all over the country about happiness. And I did that for 4 years. So technically, I was working with them from 2021 through 2025. And then in 2022, I was asked to take over the podcast. So I took over that podcast in February of 2022. And then my last aired episode there was January 13th, 2024. So it was an amazing 2 years where I interviewed people about happiness on podcasts. And then we kind of like upped it a level because they had a production company as well called Happy Productions. And that was just an elite marketing agency, storytelling guru. It was literally the Fantastic Four or whatever team of characters. I'm not a Marvel. Clearly, I'm not a superhero person, but it was a team full of amazing giants. And so I took over the podcast and I interviewed CEOs, biz devs, marketing reps. I interviewed so many different people to share their story and then also go into discussions on the production company. But that being said, happiness first and foremost, and then all kinds of individuals, all kinds of humans within that range. I think the last person I interviewed was on Discovery TV or Discover or ID TV, and she was medium. So I really just went all over the place and got really deep into happiness with them, as well as other subjects. But I want to show you that intro because I'm so proud of the one that I created. So let's take a look.
I don't know if you're going to see this voice memo, but I thought I was happy.
Are you happy?
I'm not happy at all.
The question is, are you happy?
I'm the happiest I've ever been right now.
P.S. Be the person who you'd want to meet because somebody needs you.
Welcome to Are You Happy? The Happy Hour. And so what I did with that show is that I incorporated voice notes from episodes and other voice clips that were sent to the show or to the docuseries, and I mixed them along with the the founder's voice, the head documentarian filmmaker Ate Trepka, who came in and did this amazing project. The film is released. It's on YouTube. I'll put the link in the description. But he still has, to this day, the docuseries that interviews strangers all over via video. And then the podcast is still there. So you can go and hear me as well as him in that podcast journey. So that was the intro. And now I'm going to show you the outro for that show because I'm super proud of it too. The Are You Happy Hour and Are You Happy Hotline are brought to you by Are You Happy Podcast. Be sure to follow us on social media such as Instagram and subscribe via your favorite podcast platform. Are You Happy, the docuseries, can also be found on social media such as Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. See you guys next time for another wonderful episode of Are You Happy, the Happy Hour. So super proud of that one for many reasons. First, it provides information for social platforms, and then it plugs the docuseries. It also has really excellent music. If you heard that part where I'm talking and then you hear this, like that was just so cool. I love it. I feel like it's full of soul. And then the way that it fades naturally. I believe with that, I used keyframes in Adobe Premiere or maybe Audition, and then I went ahead and exported that, and it just sounds so good. Also, I didn't mention this, but on the intro track, something that I do, and I do this on my show, it's kind of a signature, but maybe it's everyone does it. What I do is I take a significant voice clip from the show and I put that in the introduction. So you'll hear the beginning, and then you'll hear something like a snippet of sound, and it's the guest. And then you see them appear on the show card or that introductory card, and it kind of gives you like a look into that person already. So then when you hear something like, oh yeah, when I was 12 years old, I, built the Tower of America out of Cheez-Its or something, just something really cool or profound. And then you're like, oh God, I want to meet this person. I want to hear this person. So that's kind of where that's leading. But also everyone shares their message to humanity. So sometimes that message is so powerful that ends up being the one that we use. And so I really enjoy doing that. And you'll hear it here in a second. At least you'll hear the intro, and then I can point out where that segment actually goes in. With the Are You Happy podcast, like I said, it was an amazing time. I interviewed so many different types of people, and from that podcast, I took away the fact that there is more than one way to interview a person, and whatever it is that suits you and your soul, whatever feels good to you, that's the way that you interview. If it doesn't feel good, then feel free to research and listen to other people, and then kind of like hone in your skills. It's always been the case that whatever you're doing, it's going to change. And if you don't like what you're doing, then change it. Like there's no reason why you can't change it as soon as you feel that you need that change, if that makes sense. All right. So now we're on the current show, which is Humanity 2.0 podcast. Let me go grab that and we will listen to her and see what's going on there. So electric, happy, energetic music, you're like, oh, Humanity 2.0, what is this? Now, what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to actually show you the beginning of an episode so you can kind of understand how that works. I think that might be better. So let's go ahead and grab an episode, and you can also hear how it sounds when you hear that snippet of information inside it. So let's take a look and see who has a really good one. We're going to use this one with Mr. Whiskey of Couple of Nukes podcast. I really enjoyed having him on the show, and so we're going to go ahead and listen to the intro for him and also that clip that was inserted. So let's take a look.
If you are still alive, you're still breathing, there's still hope, because there is still a chance for opportunity and change. Every single moment that you're alive, things are changing around you and because of you. Mm-hmm. And if you take that away, you have nothing.
And welcome to another. Let's check out another one.
There's beauty in so much in everyday life, whether that's, the air blowing through the trees, or whether that's the smile on a child's face, or, it's a beautiful sunny day. There's just beauty all around us, whether that's natural beauty or just the beauty of humanity. And so I think beautiful is my favorite word.
Yes. So with that, again, it's energetic in the beginning, and then you just hear this person talking and you're like, okay, who am I listening to? But then you hear their message and you're like, whoa, what did I just hear? And then, the music comes up. I really am a big proponent. I'm a big fan of utilizing music to the best of your ability, because it creates that emotion. It can help you to just energize the listener. And so if you picture it, it comes in at a normal pace underneath the speaker clip goes on, and then you hear them talk. And then after they finish talking, like, I am so precise about it that the moment they finish talking, that music comes right back up and it's full speed and we're back to having energy. And then you have it fade as we're getting into the welcome to Humanity 2.0 and welcome to another episode. And then it fades out naturally. So you don't cut it off. You never want to just cut it off, because that's just so jarring, and everyone can tell. It pulls them out of the listening. It pulls them out of that happy place wherever they are that they want to be when they're listening to your episode. So you want to make sure that you fade it naturally. And if you need help on that, put a note in the comments and I will gladly make a video for you. So that being said, that's the introduction for Humanity 2.0 podcast. And so what I do with the end, currently, I will have that music come up toward the end, and then it'll go full, and then you'll see show cards on video. So I thought, well, maybe I need to also make an outro for an audio outro, since, we do both video and audio podcast. And recently it was shared and pointed out that you shouldn't do things on an audio podcast that are visual, like pointing at something and say, you see here, like, that's a good point. You shouldn't do that. So I'm going to show you what the outro with audio looks like for Humanity 2.0 podcast. So give me one moment while I get that for you. Okay, so I lied. I made the outro with audio for the other show. I'm going to do one for this show. So let's take a look at what the updated outro sounds like for Vanessa the Vivacious show. That was the one that I had created a new outro for. So let's take a look at it. Being said, thank you for joining us on Humanity. Sorry. I knew I was going to do that at least once. Thank you for joining us on Vanessa the Vivacious show. We will see you next Wednesday for another Vivacious episode. And above all, don't forget to be vivacious. See y'all next week. Vanessa the Vivacious show is brought to you by Vanessa the Vivacious Productions. Be sure to like, share, follow, and subscribe on all platforms at Vanessa the Vivacious. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode where we showcase Riverside and utilizing that platform to host, edit, and push out the episodes for Vanessa the Vivacious show. Above all, don't forget to be vivacious. See you next week. All right, so that was the updated outro for Vanessa the Vivacious show. I did that because, like, Are You Happy? I did a really nice recording of This Show is Brought to You By, and you can find us at, don't forget the tagline. So those are really good things. Now, could I refine it a little bit more for Vanessa the Vivacious? Yes. But the Are You Happy one was perfect. And so also what I'm hoping is that I can get sponsors, right? Sponsors, so that way I can include them in that outro. But I also have some other ideas on that as well and how to incorporate without just being boring. So that being said, I hope you enjoyed this little mini episode where we went over some intros and outros. I hope you learned something, if anything, or just found it simply entertaining. What I will show you that is one of my favorite things in the whole world, and it may be taboo, before we go, one more thing is going to be the use of outtakes and bloopers. I think that it is awesome to use them because it shows your humanity and it helps your audience to resonate with you. So I'm going to show you a blooper reel, not a blooper reel. I'm not going to show it to you. I'm going to let you listen to it, but listen, show, yeah. See, I did that thing that I said not to do. Awesome. So let's take a look at what that sounds like. And you will laugh. It is very funny, but maybe you won't. Maybe you'll be like, hey, you know what? That was kind of like an inside joke. So I hope not. But it does show you how I was able to take our outtakes and then I added some sound effects, added some music, and it makes it sound really fun and lively. So you will definitely enjoy it. If not for the production value, as opposed to like, this is an inside joke, what are you doing? I really do think you'll like it. So let's go ahead and check that out here. Enjoy. Again, this is the first episode that we did for Are You Happy podcast podcast returning after it had been away for a while. It is myself and also both Kellyann. Kellyann is a wonderful human who you can find on Instagram. She does makeup and many other things. She's amazing. So I hope that you will find Kellyann as well. And I'll put her link to her profile in the description of the episode as well. So let's take a look and cue that up. And I really love that at the very end, I did this nice little cue those outtakes thing. And it was, yeah. So let's just hear it and you can judge it for yourself.
Yay. So I'm so glad that we have completed our first episode. Yay.
Me too.
Congratulations.
You too.
Oh man, I can't wait to play those outtakes.
Are you gonna use hashtag Pages Box?
Sure.
Probably no.
Cue those outtakes.
Oh. How you recording?
Oh, how the turns table.
Oh. Do dogs like dog food? Okay.
What?
I was gonna say, do dogs like cats? That's not a good reference.
Bear poop in the woods. There you go. So now, if you search, oh, it worked. It worked.
Yay! It was a joke.
I get it.
Okay, just making sure. Let me pull up the sheet real quick. All right, so we'll just. Can you move your cursor out of there? it's sorry. It's just distracting. 3, 2, 1.
The Are You Happy journey continues with the Are You Happy hotline.
I'm Vanessa.
And I'm Kellyann.
And we are so happy.
You're here. Why are you so slow?
I'm not slow. You're slow.
I was doing it faster.
Okay. I'm sorry. We have to do that again. I made this weird country, like, I had this. You didn't hear that? I was like, amazing.
I mean, you do live in Texas.
Oh, come now. Hush.
Come now. We'll listen to some. Sorry. We will.
Let's start over. All right.
We'll listen to some. We're starting.
We gotta start over. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
That's horrible. The Are You Happy journey continues with the Are You Happy hotline. What? Would you just move your cursor?
I just snorted. I was laughing at you because you were like. I'm sorry. Okay.
Do you want my anchor voice or no?
I'm done. I'm done laughing. Okay, I'm done. I'm sorry.
I don't know what you want.
No, you were trying to correct yourself when you were like, I did it again, and you went, blah, 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 blah. And it was just funny. Okay.
It's a trial moment.
Okay. All right. Let's do this. Go for it.
I'm hot all of a sudden. Okay. Okay. The Are You Happy journey continues with the Are You Happy hotline.
I'm Vanessa.
And I'm Kellyann.
And we are so happy that you're here.
We'll listen to some amazing stories.
And we'll meet some amazing people.
Welcome to the Are You Happy hotline.
We look forward to our next episode and sharing more previous and updates on these voice clips.
See you next time.
See you next time.
So I really love this particular thing.
Constantly.
Ooh, excuse me. Darn Spotify. So I really love that particular blooper set. And I think it was one of the ones we did, one of the only ones we did, just because it takes a little extra time. And sometimes you don't really have bloopers. Sometimes you have, really good content that is more so emotional and driven to the subject matter. So in that particular blooper reel, I really enjoyed putting it together. I added sound effects. I added some voices in the beginning. I added the perfect music so it can really accentuate those bloopers. And then, of course, you want to make sure that you use things that everybody can identify with, as opposed to like, remember that one time when da-da-da-da-da in the beginning of the episode? And it's like, they may not have heard the episode and they might have just scrubbed all the way to the bloopers. Who knows? So we want to be sure that we are, very general when it comes to any bloopers that you select. Now, if you also noticed, I did use the music in a creative way. I ended up, raising it, lowering levels at certain times. Now, the speaker quality as far as microphones, at that time, this is 2022, and we didn't have a budget, so it was kind of like very, very DIY. But the music and the mixing, things that were in our control, I definitely controlled. And then toward the end, my favorite, most artistic moment, and I'm not sure if you caught it, if you did, points, is that I used our final take that was the good one. And so it went from the bloopers to that final take in this very organic, beautiful, constructed way. And then you hear that final take and it's perfect and it's flawless. And then it goes into that music and then it fades and then sure, we come back and insert a couple more words, but then you fade out again naturally with the end of the song. And it was just so beautiful. Like, I couldn't believe that I actually had this idea where I was like, what if I, had all these bloopers in line and then I put in like the actual take and make it look or make it sound like as if it's an outtake, but actually it's the take. And then they hear it, they receive it, and they're like, oh, that's good. And they listen to the message, and then we fade out with that music, and it's just beautiful. So that was my goal. Hopefully that came across to you. Hopefully you liked it. Hopefully you appreciate everything that I presented here today, and you will comment. Let me know if you have any questions or anything that you would have done different. Again, the Are You Happy podcast was a period where we didn't have much of a budget or much equipment, so don't judge on that one. But on the other ones, you're more than welcome to judge. Hopefully, though, let's be positive and proactive and not negative. If you have other questions on podcasts or recording or anything to do with podcasting or production even, feel free to hit me up in the comments and ask questions. I'll be happy to make a video or to send you a direct message and address that with you. Again, I am not a PhD or a professor, but I have a lot of lived skill. And so I just want to share it in addition to continue to producing and creating all sorts of amazing podcast and film work, etc. Thank you guys so much. I hope you have a great rest of your day. This is Vanessa the Vivacious. Don't forget to be vivacious. Podmatch has been integral in giving me so much support. For those of you who are podcasters or podcaster hopefuls, Podmatch is a platform that is often referred to as the dating site for podcasters. It's not a dating site. It's not a swipe left, right that I know of, but it does have that kind of vibe, right? So when you go on Podmatch as a host and you sign up, it's like maybe $6 a month. It's not even expensive. You sign up and you go and fill out the profiles and do all the good stuff, and then you're matched by their algorithm with potential guests. You don't even have to go searching for the guests. It's like you get an inbox full of guests trying to pitch you, wanting to be on your show, choose who's relevant, match with them, pass if they're not relevant, and then it just gets smarter and gives you new people. You can also search for guests. That's totally fine. But the biggest takeaway is that the guests are not huge, but they are just like well-versed in whatever it is that they're talking about or whatever you're talking about. They are like amazingly credited and or if not experienced people within these areas that having them as a guest is a gem. And then if you're a guest person that needs to promote books, videos, your brand, whatever, you can be a guest on anyone's show that you match with, that they accept you, right? So same process, just backwards. You can sign up as a guest and then go on as many shows as you need to promote, and they will 100,000% promote you and get it out there. So you can't lose whether you're a guest or a host. And then here's one thing that I found interesting. So back when I first started on Podmatch, the reason why I was on Podmatch to begin with was because the podcast that I was hosting called Are You Happy Podcast, they wanted me to go find the best podcast platform out there that could help get guests and, referrals, etc. So then I find Podmatch. I think I got an email. I signed up. I went over. I did all the things with the profile, and then I had matches right away. And I started doing the hosting of guests that I interviewed and such, and they were just phenomenal. But the whole time I'm thinking, when's the shoe gonna drop? This is too good. Never dropped. It's been a number of years now, and the shoe never dropped. In fact, I don't even know where the shoe's at, but Alex Sanfilippo and Alicia Sanfilippo, the CEOs of this platform, they interact with everyone. They support and lift you and help elevate your show as much as possible. They are amazing humans. When do you have a CEO that's in the trenches with you and giving value and teaching and supporting and lifting? Like, never. And then another amazing tidbit to know is that they also pay commission to the hosts. So if you host people on your podcast and you get them via Podmatch and you do all the things to schedule with them, Podmatch is going to pay you a commission. Now, there is no platform to this day for podcasters that pays commission. Nobody's profit sharing. They're keeping the profits, but not Podmatch. Podmatch is sharing the profits with you by giving you commissions on the guests that you interview. If it's a brand new guest that just signed up, that's a double commission. And then they also have a community where you can commune with other podcasters, ask questions, leave hopeful stories. It's such an amazing community. You can exchange so much. So that being said, Podmatch is the place to be if you're a podcaster or a hopeful or a guest. I'm going to put their description, my affiliate link, in the description for the episode, and I highly recommend you to start your podcast journey with Podmatch, and you will not be what's the dang word? You will not be displeased. Let's just say that for now. You won't regret it. That's what I mean. Lord, I need to breathe. Podmatch, amazing. Shouting them out. Seriously, thank you, Podmatch, for everything you've done for me and everything that we're going to do together. Seriously, you guys are tremendous. I got to meet them at Orlando Podfest. Got to meet them and hang out for a while. So again, Podmatch, my success is your success, truly. Join us next time on Vanessa the Vivacious podcast, and don't forget to be vivacious.